Hopefully, hopefully this is working. Oh shoot, did not mean to do that. No green screen. All right, hopefully this is working. And by the time anyone decides to jump in on this or watch this back and everything, you'll be able to get the from me. Excuse the paint. Your boy been painting. Your boy been doing some things and everything. But what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS. It's been a minute, it's been a while. Your boys had quite some things going on personally in life that I'm been trying to get done and everything. But I got a free moment, and I said I was gonna try to carve out some time, and I plan on carving out some time to be able to do a breakdown for the playoffs. I cannot miss the playoffs, man. I can't, especially with the WNBA coming right around the corner. Got to get back into a rhythm and flow of things. So got a little bit of free time right now in my hands. 2 game slate. It's the play in. This is when basketball matters. What up, Don? What up? But I'm gonna get into it. It's gonna be real quick and simple. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to look at me. I'm going to just be straight up just talking like this. I got on my laptop pulled up the NBA slate. I got it up on DraftKings, of course. You guys know I play on DraftKings. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys check the links down in the description below so you guys get those deposit match bonuses on whatever site you play on. And yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a breakdown like I normally would if I was sitting at my computer screen and recording like that, like what you guys are normally used to. If you guys have any issues hearing me or something like that, just let me know. Drop down in the comment section. I'll see it. It'll pop up on my screen as I'm going through. Any questions, go ahead and ask me. But I'm gonna go through the 2 games real quick, give my thoughts in regards to how I think the games go, and we're gonna go from there. So real quick, injury news: Atlanta taking on Orlando. This is going to be the lower total between the 2 games, a 219 total, 5.5 point spread in favor of Orlando. Of course, I do got Orlando winning this. They are playing on, I believe they're playing on their court if I'm not mistaken, because it looks, yeah, it's Atlanta at Orlando. I do got them winning. I do got them winning and everything. But looking at it, the only people that are going to be out for this game is Clint Capella, which we know he wasn't playing towards the end of the season, and Larry Nance Jr. Hopefully the wind is not bad too. All I've been hearing all day is Green for the Warriors is a GOAT at power forward, but is he chalk? We have to take. I'm gonna get to that. All right. So yeah, that's all that we got in that first game for Atlanta and Orlando, and then the Memphis versus Golden State Warriors. It was a clean slate. There was nothing up there until recently. Moses Moody later on this afternoon, he popped up as questionable. Kind of sucks because I was looking towards Moses Moody as a potential value play that I was really looking forward to wanting to play on today. 4,100 in the minutes that he was playing. Really did like that idea getting over there to him. But all right, looking over here on DraftKings, starting out, looking at the Atlanta side. So fortunately for us, we got to see these two teams. They pretty much teed off towards the end of the season. It was like 2 games that they had pretty much going up against each other. Once on the 8th, they played back in April, and then again they played twice, I know, to like, and once in February from just looking at Trae Young's game logs. So looking at it, that game, I went back, I watched the highlights, was looking at everything in that. Of course, we know for Atlanta, it's going to be a tight rotation. The wild card for over here on Atlanta is going to be Zachary Richardson. He's going to be the wild card because whether or not if he goes out there and he can play extended minutes past 25, which we were seeing it here and there towards the end of the season, or he's the one I truly believe his minutes will get pinched. Just because, of course, he's rookie. This is a pretty tough matchup going up against France and Paulo. They're both playing in the positions that he plays at. I can see him getting pinched, of course, because that was the whole reason why they made the trade for Karis LeVert. You got Karis LeVert over there. You got Terrence Mann over there. Both decent vets inside the game who you can rely on their scoring. You can rely on their defensive prowess that they have that you can go out there and play to be able to match up, size-wise and everything versus technically the 2 best players over there in this game in Paulo and France. When it comes down looking at it, Trae Young, 9,100. Of course, you can play Trae. We know playoff Trae. We've seen him going up against the Knicks, things of that nature. 9,100, not a bad price. I don't hate it, don't mind it. I do think you are going to have to choose. Am I playing Trae Young? Am I playing John Morant? Am I playing Steph Curry? The latter in the later game, their prices are good. Their prices are right there, right around the same price as Trae Young at the 9,100 price tag. Not bad. I would prefer playing the guards in that game versus playing Trae in this game. If I was to take something in this game, guard position wise, like I always do, like I always say whenever it comes down to Trae Young, Dyson Daniels is right there at 7K. And the big thing about Dyson Daniels, not only the fact that he can score, He can rebound. He can also play make a little bit, but he gives us that defensive upside with the fact that he goes out there and he can get those blocks and steals. And this will be a game where I imagine, where I went back, looked at the highlights, Dyson's going to be on fronts most of the majority of the time he's out there. He's still going to go out there and give us a couple of steals, maybe get some blocks and things of that nature. And that 34-ish minutes that he was playing, it should be up to 38, almost 40. Like, this is a win, go home type situation for these games and this stuff right now for them. They want to win. They want to make the playoffs. So you're going to be running your best players out there. Not going to necessarily run them into the ground, but they're going to play those big minutes. But Dyson Daniels at 7K. I like it. Love the upside for him. I definitely do think last time when they played, which is, of course, back on the 8th, he went out there in 34 minutes. He dropped 29.75 fantasy points, 15 points, a steal, 2 blocks, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Not bad. Give me a couple more minutes. Give me somewhere closer to 35. Maybe you could break the 40 fantasy point mark. I like that. I don't hate that at all, and I think the upside is there. Just like what Don just said, you compare Daniels with Curry at point guard at the point guard position, because Dyson is point guard and shooting guard eligible. So the upside definitely is there. You don't have to play Trey. Trey, to me, would be the GPP option because I do think he should be lower owned. It's a lower total in that game. And we already know the defense is going to be focused on, hey, we stop and chill out Trae Young. Who else are you going to be scared of over there? And I mean, for me, in all honesty, I'm not necessarily going to be, I'm not too scared of Dyson Daniels and everything that he can do. I know that he's a pretty good player. Oneko Okongwu, you get him into enough foul trouble, he's going to be null and void out there anyway. Speaking of, I do like Okongwu, that 7.5 price tag. We know he's going to be out there play the minutes. Looking at it, he was definitely involved quite a bit in regards to trying to run the pick and roll with Trey. Whenever they would, he typically, his defender would end up going and doubling Trey. Trey would normally kick it to Okongwu. Okongwu was open quite a bit because, of course, Wendell Carter Jr. playing that position of drop big. He was down inside the paint. Okongwu did get a good couple of looks out there from 3. As you can see, he went 4 of 7 from the field in that game. 62 fantasy points in that one. Played 40 minutes. He is the primary defender on Paolo. He's going to be out there to defend Paolo. That's what he's going to be out there to do. He's going to play as many minutes as he can handle, as long as he keeps himself out of foul trouble. That's going to be a big thing. 7,500, don't mind looking towards him. That gets you off of the Jaren Jackson Jr., the Draymond Green, just like what Don was talking about earlier, the Zach Edey, if you don't want to fall down and go play that right there. I'm not necessarily going to say Wendell Carter Jr. because the price difference is actually staggering. But outside of that, between Okongwu, Dyson Daniels, the other best plays to me over here is, are you going to play Karis LeVert today? Are you going to take a chance on Terrence Mann? And the wild card for me would be looking at Vit Krejci. Just because Vit, he was playing about 15-ish minutes. I'll round it out over his last 5 games. About 15-ish minutes that we could see him playing towards the end of the season. Now, he is a very big wild card because there's no telling exactly up and down what is he going to do, if he's going to get the minutes. I do trust, of course, Terrence Mann and Karis LeVert over him in this position. Karis LeVert sitting at 4,800 and ended the season good. Looked very good out there to end the season. Of course, last game versus Philly, 30 minutes, he dropped 48 fantasy points. Prior to that, in the game that they played versus Orlando on the 8th, 30 minutes, dropped 20.5 fantasy points. Not bad at all. I will take it, especially at 4,800. You are going to have to find some type of value when it comes down to it on this slate. Main plays for me over here on Atlanta, and I will not touch anyone else. I'm not messing with Matthews. I'm not messing with Wallace. Not messing with Guy. If they start Guy's going to play what? Maybe 10, 15 minutes as a backup 5. That's it. I do not expect Guy to be out there running a whole bunch of minutes unless Okongwu gets stuff into foul trouble. Vit, he is like really just GPP to me. I don't think you need to force it unless you're playing multiple lines. Ricochet, definitely GPP. I don't see him playing more than 15 minutes. I really think that they are going to pinch his minutes. This should be Karis LeVert, Terrence Mann territory right there. Ricochet should not be out there for too many minutes at all whatsoever when it comes down to it. Dyson Daniels is safe. Okongwu is safe. Trae Young, of course, is safe. Karis LeVert is safe. Terrence Mann is safe. Those are going to be the main guys that you want to target over here from Atlanta. That's how I just see it over here. Everyone else, straight up, if you got a crystal ball and you see something different, you got the GP one right there if you can figure that out from the rest of those guys. What up, Gail? Going over to Orlando side, I don't have to talk about Paulo. I don't have to talk about Franz. When it comes down to it, the main stud I want from this game, of course, is going to be Paulo. The ball's in his hands. He's playmaking. He's rebounding. He's doing some defense. But primarily, he's going to go out there and he's going to drop what he's done continuously versus Atlanta all season, over 25 points. He's more than likely going to be flirting with about 30, 35. Would not be surprised at all. They're going to do what they try to do to stop him. He's been able to pull up from 3. He's been looking very good to end the season. I mean, Paulo's just is Paulo. Can't ask for anything better. If you want to play the, okay, hey, Paulo's 9,500, France is 8,500, let me get 1K in savings, go down there and you play France. That's the difference that I would take right there. That's what I would do. Outside of that, Wendell Carter Jr., Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, those two to me, they're safe. Wendell in the game on the 8th, we did see him go out there and he played staggeringly, surprisingly to me, he played 37 minutes in that game. Dropped 47.75 fantasy points. Does make for a good value option. I don't hate going down there to him. We just understand that he's one of those bigs that can't get themselves into foul trouble. They don't necessarily run sets, plays, and stuff for him. A lot of his stuff does come from putbacks from whenever, France, Paulo are out there missing, or surprisingly, maybe if they decide they want to run a pick and roll with him. Maybe. But he's low usage. 5,400, I don't hate it. I will be honest, I would rather take my chances on hoping that Zach Edey, the 28 to 30 minutes that he's been playing underneath the new head coach, that just stays consistent, and just hope for the better upside from Zach, because Golden State has no one that can actually match up and be able to guard Zach Edey, and it showed in the one game that he did get to play those big minutes over there for him. But Wendell Carter Jr. 5,400 does make sense. I don't hate or mind that at all. You definitely can mess with that right there. Outside of that, Corey Joseph is still, of course, starting 3,200. Definitely, of course, he's going to play 20 minutes. Why not? Why not? I mean, we could see him go out there and give us 15, 18-ish fantasy points, maybe. Another low usage player. We know everything is running through Paulo and France. But on the 8th, he played 26 minutes. He dropped 20.25 fantasy points. I don't hate it. I could take that. 3,200. 3,200. And you know he's going to play at least 20 minutes. They've been leaning on him. Cole Anthony's not getting that starting spot back. Suggs, of course, he's out. I mean, he was at the draft last night watching my girl Haley Van Lith get drafted to the Chicago Sky. So Corey Joseph, that's like immense value you can get right there. And honestly, I see no reason not to want to even play that right there. Outside of that, KCP sitting at 3,800. I mean, 3,800. You know for a fact the Magic. It's going to be Paulo, France, KCP. Like those three right there, their minutes are pretty much secure. Those right there are going to play 35 plus minutes. They're going to be out there. Like that's where we can exactly plant our flag. We know the minutes are secure. The usage is going to be there for them. KCP, spot up shooter. We know he's going to be out there for defense. More than likely, he's going to be drawing this time in on Trae Young to start the game and things of that nature until they put in Gary Harris or Caleb Houston if they decide to run those guys right there. Like that's going to be where KCP is going to be at. And wouldn't be surprised if they try to spot Trae on KCP, just because the fact of he is more of the spot up shooter, stands inside the corner and things of that nature, be able to hide Trae. Don, question, is it a 1 center or 2 center slate? If it is 1 center, I was going to say Memphis rookie center. I do agree with you on that. I love Edey, and it's really because of the upside from the minutes. I am going to get to that. I don't think that you have to play 2 centers. I'm going to be honest. When I was playing around with mock builds and stuff like that, granted, I have to decide if I'm going to take the chance on Moses Moody or if I'm going to move off of that, because that was where my bills were originally leading me to. Was I'm heavy, of course, on the later game. It's a higher total. We've seen these teams play numerous times already throughout the season. The upside looks like it's going to be there. I would imagine that this game, if we look at what Orlando did last season, I imagine that they are going to be, once again, a tough team defensively. They're going to slow the Hawks down. They're going to bog down on defense. So that's why I'm only picking and choosing a couple of spots, couple of plays from this game, and I'm going, of course, heavy on the faster paced game in the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Like that's just personally me. But to go ahead, get over there to that, Paulo, France, Corey Joseph, KCP, main plays I want to get to over here. Wendell Carter Jr., I'm 50-50. I don't mind it. Don't hate it at all. Anthony Black will be an upside play because he is still going to split those minutes with Corey Joseph. He's looked very well to end the season. Everyone else over here, I am fading Goga. He was a DMP. Really hasn't been seeing the minutes. Jonathan Isaac would be like a deep, if you're making multiple lines, I mean, deep GPP option would be Jonathan Isaac. Like I could see him just all of a sudden, the dark horse magically goes out there and gets you 25 fantasy points at 3,900, low ohm, no one has it. Whatever other value we have on the slate just doesn't pan out, and he's the one that takes it all down for you to be able to win the 100K. Like that's honestly where I would go right there. But honestly, this game is pretty much straightforward, cut and dry. Like you play Paulo, you decide are you playing Dyson Daniels or Congo, something like that. Move on to the next and just figure it out from there. Like that's honestly where I see it and what I would do right there. All right. Memphis taking on Golden State. I'm gonna get to that stacks. Just give me 1 second in regards to pod. So Memphis, Golden State, John Morant, Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr. We already know this is a three-headed monster over here for them. Ja has looked good to end the season. Ja was playing really well. 8,900. Of course, that's your out to come up off of Trey Young. I don't hate mind it at all. 34, 48, 50, 42, 52 fantasy points in the season, and that 52 last 52 was versus Golden State Warriors in 33 minutes. I'd imagine Josh should be playing roughly close to 38 minutes in this game. Of course, the shot attempts will be there. The playmaking is there for him. As long as he keeps himself out of foul trouble, doesn't get ejected for throwing grenades into the stands, things of that nature. Ja 8,900, like that's just straight up, straightforward. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bain. This is where it comes down to what are we going to do between these two right here. Both of them, I don't mind it. I don't hate it at all. They've played well versus Golden State throughout the season. I can see going with either or. Jaren Jackson Jr. to me, if Edie gets ran off the court, we will see a lot of JJJ playing the back, playing the five. It'll be between him and Santi Aldama. Both of those guys should be playing the five spot right there. That's how I would see that going. So I kind of will give the leverage to Jaren Jackson Jr. I understand he is very much foul prone. He is. We've seen it just time and time again. Versus Golden State, he fouled out of that game actually versus Golden State when they played back on the 1st of this month. But he did drop 36.75 fantasy points. He keeps himself out of foul trouble, 22.7 rebounds. Gives me just a little bit more on the defensive side. I can see the upside for him, 7,300. I don't hate or mind that at all. I definitely can go there. But I do think the upside for Santi Aldama, he is like one of the main quote unquote value plays, probably is going to be chalk because if you look back and you see it, underneath the new coach, he's getting those minutes. He's playing the backup five run. He gave Golden State fits when they played versus them. He played 30 minutes in that game and dropped 30.5 fantasy points. 5'5", pretty stable. Don't mind it. Unless you come up off of the Karis LeVert, who is sitting at 4,800, 5,500. Both of them can fit into the forward spot. Of course, Santi has the dual eligibility for the center or util. So that right there, I kind of feel like Santi will be lower owned than Karis. I think the upside could be there for Santi if he's going to go out there and play 30 plus minutes over what Karras might be out there going to do 25. And Santi is stuffing the stat sheet in all areas. Karras, if he's not having a good scoring night, this could be a good Santi day for us to really just get that right there. Your question, how can I get locks in what you do? Stat 5 cover WNBA, DFS, and picks. So yes, that 599 for us over here, it does cover. It does cover for WNBA, all content and everything. So if you're looking at the on the YouTube tab over there for the membership, everything that I post that I do, all that stuff will be posted over there for it over there. If you look on underneath in the description where it says the Patreon, you can also do that right there. The Patreon, that allows you to get everything, not only just myself, but also lets you get BK, who also does a lot of stuff for the WNBA. So if you're looking for both of our stuff, definitely check that out for the Patreon. But again, if you're looking at it over here on the YouTube, you're just getting all of my stuff, which is my picks, my core plays, my player pool, and everything that I do over here. And again, the only reason why I had to do that was because I was getting so much stuff for free over here. I got tapped on the shoulder like, hey, Zoe, you putting this stuff on the Patreon, but you putting it out for free. So, yeah, that was the only reason why I had to do that. But going to Zach Edey. Underneath this new coach, he's letting him run. He's letting him play. He's playing 33, 30, 31, 29, 28. Versus Golden State, he played 32 minutes. 4 for 7 from the field, 16 rebounds. And how many blocks? 4 blocks. Golden State didn't run Edey off the floor the first time. If we think they run him off the floor this time, I can understand the caution and want to get away from him. But they didn't run him off the floor the first time. That's what I'm going to go with. And I mean, he played versus some other pretty, let me see, decently fast, can push the pace type teams as well. And he's held his own. 33 minutes versus the Denver Nuggets, 34.5 fantasy points. 30 minutes versus Minnesota, tougher matchup going up against Rudy Gobert, 19.75. I'll take that. 31 versus Charlotte Hornets, 47. Versus Detroit, 29 minutes, 42. Like, The big thing for him, he's going to gobble up a ton of rebounds. He's going to get those rebounds out there for him. He's not necessarily going to have to go out there and give us a whole bunch on the scoring side, but he can if they actually look to him, if they actually decide they want to play through him. He can go out there and get us the double double. I don't mind it, but like seriously, 5,700, I would take that. I will take that 5,700. I will take the chances. You want to get different? You definitely can go with Santi Aldama over Zach Edey, or you can run them both. I like them both. I really do like them both. I don't think they play Zach Edey off the court. Love the upside for him. Golden State has surrendered a ton of rebounds to opposing centers since the All-Star break. We're going to leave it at that right there. Like, center has been a spot you can attack, especially because Draymond Green is playing the center spot for him. Outside of that over here, Scottie Pippen Jr., Luke Kennard, Vince Williams Jr., I think right there that could possibly be like a rotating door for them just because they did lose, what was his name? It wasn't Vince Williams. It was Wells. They lost Wells, of course, in that thing with the Charlotte Hornets. So we should see Vince Williams being the main guy that's going to be out there for him playing that. But I can see a rotating door in regards to the minutes and possible upside for us here in that spot. So I don't mind looking at those guys right there. Scottie Pippens, Vince Williams, right there. That would be just some ugly value that you can consider. I mean, Scottie Pippens Jr., he was seeing a ton of minutes really to end the season for him. 31, 32, 23, 29, 27 in the game versus Golden State. He played 23 minutes in that, only had 15 fantasy points. I do feel like he's kind of capped when you have Ja, Bane, both of them being out there. I don't necessarily like that at that 4,700. I would rather take Karis LeVert if I was having to choose between the two just due to the price. But definitely you can mess with Vince Williams. That would be probably as low as I would go. I'm not going to mess with Huff, Stevens, Marvin Bagley. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Going on over to the Golden State Warriors, looking at it on this side. So Curry, I don't got to talk about it. Jimmy Butler, this is playoff Jimmy Butler. I'll be very honest. Jimmy Butler is locked into my line. I am playing Jimmy Butler 100%. He is locked into my line. Draymond Green, I do like the upside. It's the playoffs. We should definitely see a ton of minutes for Draymond. The playmaking, all the duties and stuff that he holds, that he does when he's out there on the court. Going up against them when they did play back early on the season, he dropped 53 fantasy points in that game, had a triple-double. And I mean, the big thing to me, and I do think that his assist is a good prop to play on today, just because you got Steph Curry running around out there. Zach Edey, it's kind of hard to get off those screens that Draymond sets, especially his moving screens and things of that nature. It just opens up so many shots for. We've seen Pod had a much better 3-point shot to end the season. We've been seeing, Curry like lighting it up, and he lit the Memphis Grizzlies up when they played. So Draymond, rebounding wise, all that stuff, I do like his upside. Podominski, I don't mind taking a stab at him, 6K. I think he will be the lower owned Golden State Warrior when it comes down to it, because everyone's going to focus in on Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. I see his ownership being lower, so I don't mind taking him as a ownership pivot. Moses Moody is the spot where if you think Moses Moody is going to be out just because he was a late day ad, then, and this is what's weird, Kuminga's out of the rotation. Kuminga's not play. They're not going to play Kuminga. They know that that's not going to work. They know it's not. Gary Payton, for whatever reason, was out there when the game ended up going to overtime and whatnot. Payton was out there. He was getting the run. He was getting the burn. Played 25 minutes in that one versus the Clippers. I hate him because he really doesn't give us much. But I have to look at him because they're not going to give Kuminga. They're not going to give Kuminga those minutes. If Moses Moody's going to be out, I imagine that we're going to see Peyton get moved into the starting lineup or something of the sort. I can see that. Or they can go with Buddy Hield. But if Moses Moody is out, that's going to open up realm for Buddy Hield and Gary Payton. Both those guys should get some more burn and run. Like, that's honestly where I would see it. Very much GPP. And the only way that I would get down to Peyton would be is if I feel Moses Moody is definitely going to be out. Like, that's the only way I'm going to get there. Moses Moody, he's shown it. He's been playing very well. To end the season, I was liking the upside. Definitely like he was finding the rhythm a little bit as well. I know he's been very spotty. He's a low-usage player. He's out there for his defense. That is literally what he's out there for. That is mainly what he's out there for. But he popped up questionable And it doesn't really tell me over here what he popped up questionable for. Let me see if I can pull it up on Underdog real quick to see why did he pop up questionable, because that's going to be interesting right there. If Peyton is going to actually start, then yes, I would imagine that you would have either Peyton or Pod trying to guard Ja. But looking at it, it looks like this is back. Damn, probably back spasms. Really don't. I hate messing with players whenever it's their back. I really do hate messing with players when it's the back, because that's, yeah, no. Mm, I think that's probably just gonna end up boosting Gary Payton and Buddy Hield. Gary Payton, Buddy Hield. Deep GPP option that you can mess with in this game is going to be Kevon Looney, because he should end up playing some minutes to try to be out there to match with the size that they're going to run, like what they did going up against Zubac. He should be out there to match those a little bit of run going up against Zach Edey to try to slow him down. That would be another spot that you can definitely mess with if you want to take that right there. Outside of that, it's the studs over here. Like I said, Jimmy Butler, he's a lot for me. I do like Draymond Green, definitely pretty high on him. Podominski would be my like sneaky. I really feel like his ownership is low currently right now, looking at him, but I do like the upside for Pod, especially. I mean, shoot, damn man, Moses Moody, that right there, that really kind of messes with me a little bit, because I was eyeing him. Pod did not have the best game going up against the Memphis Grizzlies. He shot poorly, but since then, shot has been looking pretty decent versus the Clippers. 43 minutes in that overtime game, 7 of 11 from the field, dropped 39.75 fantasy points. Like I said, I like the upside for Podominski. I do like him as a sneaky play. How many players from the Hawks and Magic should we go if we're going to stack the last game? So if you're taking from the first game, personally, myself, I'd say 2 to 3. 2 to 3. Three, definitely. Now, if you want to get different, that's where you flip the script. You stack the first game and you take just your valuable studs from the later game. If you want to get different, because I'm very sure everyone's going to do exactly what I'm doing. We're going to take 2 to 3 players from the first game and we're stacking the higher total, the game that's expected to be the fireworks and closer game. You want to get different? Stack that first game. You find a way. You go ahead and you play Trey Young, Paulo, Dyson Daniels. Maybe run a KCP, or another core you can run with that would be Trey Young, Aneka Kongwu, Paulo, KCP. Like, you figure out how to run that from the first game, and then see whatever other value you can take. Look at the later game if you could fit Jimmy Butler into that mix, which it might be a little hard with the prices for Paulo, Trey coming from that, but if not Jimmy Butler, Podominski from the late game. You take Pod, look towards like what we're talking about with Gary Payton or Buddy Hield, one of those two as your value, and then maybe run back to that first game and you get a Terrence Mann or a Karis LeVert. I can see that. The prices are slowly flashing through my head. I can see something like that being something that you could definitely do, like that. That would be one way. Because I'm telling you, Josh should be honestly the lower owned out of all the studs that we have on this slate. Josh should be. I'm not Josh. I'm sorry. Trey should be low owned, like 9,100, and I have Ja at 89. I have France at 85. Jimmy Butler at 8K. Desmond Bain at 7.8, and all of them can kind of put up exactly what Trey can give me. And then I mean, like I said, if I'm not gonna play Trey, I'm playing Dyson Daniels. Matter of fact, I'm gonna build this out right here. Like if I was legit taking a core from the first game, for me it would definitely be. I start with Trey Young. I'm playing Trey Young and Paulo. Will be like my first two run twos over there on that right there. I like the upside of Karis LeVert just because I think he's going to be getting those minutes over Ricochet over there. And then my value that I like over there from the Magic when I was looking at him. Shoot, I talked about it earlier. Corey Joseph. Where are you at? 3,200, 3,200, 3,200. Boom, 3,200. All right, now going to the later game. Memphis taking on Golden State. First things first. Plug in Zach Edey. Right there. It leaves him with 59. Pretty sure I can play Trae Young, Karis LeVert, Jimmy Butler, Paolo, Zach Edey, Corey Joseph. I like that. I like that, actually. That's not bad. Like, if I was to stack the first game, that would be something that I would run. Like, that would legit be something that I would actually take right there. I would take that because me just sitting here playing with it and being able to fill in the rest with two other value plays that I actually do like, and depending on the Moses Moody news, I can see that actually working. But all right, guys, that's gonna do it for me. If anyone else has any questions before I go ahead and get off, go ahead, drop it. But this is what it's gonna be for me for the next couple of days and stuff until I get back to my actual setup and office and stuff. It'll be just going live, going over the slates like this. The playoffs, they're here. They are here. They are here, man. I am excited. Gonna go ahead and get a core and stuff posted onto the Patreon and onto the YouTube membership tab as well for you guys. See if I can't go ahead and put together a parlay for tonight. The parlay I will be putting up because of where I'm at. I have to use Hard Rock, but you can find those lines on FanDuel, on DraftKings, or whatever. You can go ahead and play those on that as well. Man, Gail, I cannot wait for the WNBA, boy. We got that page bucket. We got that page, man. Like that right there. Just to finally be able to hear them actually say the Dallas Wings select page buckets, bro. Like, we gonna be up. We are gonna be up. The fact we got not only just Page, but going and we also had got what was it, Azalea? Like, our guard rotation should actually be pretty decent. Like, pretty decent. It should be good because Azalea's a bucket too. I ain't hating. I still got besides Page for Rookie of the Year. Don't sleep on Murrah, bro. The Sun, they definitely for a fact got a replacement for AT. I can see Murrow legit. Now, granted, it's not gonna be the same coaching style, but double, of course, out the gate. Definitely see her being able to do that. And if she can get the playmaking and be almost AT like, that stock's gonna soar. But all right, guys, that's gonna do it for me.